how's it going? This is Sue with New Hat gardening in Zone 9A in Central Texas. And we are not only hot today, but we haven't had rain in about 40 days. So, you know, we're just loving life around here. So what I'm here to tell you today is what you can plant and should be planting right now. We're just about end of October, sort of middle-ish, and there's a few plants that I do recommend planting, and I want to take you along and show you exactly what those are. So join me as we go and we shop around, and I show you a few plants that you should be planting right now, mid to late October. Pretty much regardless wherever you are, it doesn't matter. It's just a general rule. It is a rule. All right, let's go. So I think we all know how I feel about mums, and if you like mums, do it. They just don't really last very long here, so I try to avoid them. And yeah, they're not on my list. This is not a plant that's on my list. We also have pansies, which are a really good cold weather plant, but guys, we don't have any cold weather right now, so waiting on those to go ahead and plant those later on if you wanted to have color. This still actually isn't some of the plants that are on my list. Cabbage plants. I've never been a big fan of them, but recently I've been using them in some of my designs, and I've really enjoyed having them. I guess I should make this what I don't recommend. These weren't on my list, but they are really good for winter, if you have a winter, or when winter ever gets to us. This is so off subject, but I just love this pot. I like the little Western vibe going on. You know what? It's the last one, so I think maybe I need to get this. Do I need this? And it has little horses and cactuses, and it's so pretty. Oh, I think I'm gonna get it, y'all. Okay, so here are some gorgeous plants. These are one of my favorites. It says holidays, but I guess because it could look like a Christmas tree. This is the Arizona Cypress. I will love to plant these someday. In a garden that I plan to stay at for a while. We're not planning to stay in our home too much longer, so I'm really holding off on planting things that are costly until we get where we end up being, which we don't know yet. So yeah, I am recommending to you to plant all your trees and shrubs now. This is a desert willow. It's gorgeous. Does really good here in Austin, Central Texas. Those are $100. Really good price on that. Very developed. Good luck trying to dig a hole that deep, because we only have a couple of inches before we hit limestone. So I do not plant things like this. And I've tried to plant larger plants in my caliche type soil, and it dies. I've killed several things. It's been very sad. All of these are gorgeous, however, will not survive in my very limestoney caliche soil. It's also clay, so we get really poor drainage regardless of what I've tried to do to amend that. I haven't had any luck, and I'm just kind of tired of killing stuff that's very costly. So peach trees are also great. I have 2 of those right now. They're suffering because we don't have rain, but they do yield peaches. It's usually via the 3rd year, because they go through their sleeper, creeper, leaper year. 1st year, they'll kind of just hang out, get their roots established. 2nd year, they just sort of continue on growing and developing. The 3rd year, after those roots are developed, then you're going to see it really produce some good fruit for you. So you'll notice as the plant acclimates to its environment, it will definitely start yielding more and more fruit as the years go by. So yeah, a lot of stuff on the clearance track. I'm not that patient. I'm not a patient person when it comes to gardening, which kind of, you know, it's not the norm. I want things to look good immediately. Let's see what this is. A papaya, guys. I've never seen a papaya grow in Austin. So yeah, there's just things that they sell that just don't do well here, and people buy them. Avocados are one of those things. They just don't do well. They don't survive. So these are some great shrubs. This is a sunshine ligustrum. I've planted these at several clients. They grow really fast and they do really well. These are all a Lone Star variety, so these are grown here in Texas. This is a Abelia. Does well. These can be considered invasive, so I'm not sure if this would be a good choice or not. And these are cotton Easter. I've never grown these before, but I have seen them in some drought tolerant gardens. And this is the red tip Pathonia. I have seen these do well, although they can, I've never had luck with them. Doesn't mean anything sometimes. Depends on what side of I-35 you're on around here. So yes, grasses do really well here, but these will have to all be cut back, and then they'll come back in the spring. So that's a good clearance plant if you find one. Junipers are also a really good choice for drought tolerant type gardens. These do really well, guys. Let's see if we can dig this guy out. That's a good looking one. If you can find a small pot with a larger plant, that's always great. This is the variegated pittosporum. I use these a lot in darker areas of the garden to kind of brighten things up. Season's greetings. Okay, we're giving plants for Christmas. That sounds like a great idea. Euonymus. Never grown that before. This is a green beauty boxwood. Boxwoods seem to do really well here, but they are spider mite magnets, so that's not on my list. And then we have these hollies. I call them hollies. I don't think that's a holly. I can't even say that. Goshiki osmanthus? Maybe. That's really pretty. And this is another euonymus. I have never grown these euonymus. They seem like they would do really well. It's a real tough feeling leaf. Anything that's real thin leaf does not typically do well in our zone. Camellias. I've seen people do okay with these here. And again, guess what? I have not. Chinese French flowers are great. I love these against a lighter colored limestone home. That always kind of has a really great contrast. And then you can see if you put some of these asparagus fern, the different textures against each other is really beautiful. And the contrast with the chartreuse and the maroon is gorgeous. And these do put out these little pink flowers, which are gorgeous. Very, very resilient, good plant for our zone. And this is more of the pittosporum, but just the regular green. And that can be pretty too. I always like to pick the variegated type. I just really enjoy that variegation and different textures in my garden. But anyway, this would just be all pretty together. I guess that's why I have them grouped together. I did a really good job of putting that together as a little display table. Love when the garden centers do that. So these are just some more things. I don't have luck with these plants. And I know that these little thin, delicate leaves, once the frost hits, they're gonna die. So I would not recommend this. This is a heuchera. They're pretty, but they don't do well here. So here's more junipers and more smaller containers of these Sapphire Cyprus. I would recommend this if you have a very rocky soil. If you can't get through it easily, definitely finding a smaller plant and allowing it to acclimate and establish its roots around those hard to navigate rocks. Hard to navigate rocks. But look how cool this one would look. I love the structure of that. And if you look at a lot of the mid-century modern homes, they will have things like this that have some structural interest. So I really, really love that. So pretty. You would have to be patient, obviously. But yeah, that's a beautiful plant. Roses are another thing that you should be planting now. Let those roses get established over the winter, and you'll get lots of beautiful blooms come spring. I don't think it really matters what variety, it's just whatever you really like. Okay guys, I'm putting this planter back, and I'm gonna tell you why. I've had planters like this before, and I just noticed this one's already breaking. And it does not do well if you leave it outside in the elements. They will crack because they don't really seal the clay, and it is very clay based, and they end up cracking easily. You can almost hear it's just not a solid, even though you probably have this black paint in there, it still seeps through, like here in this little hole. You can see it's still bare. I could doctor it up, but you know, like I said before, I don't want to do that much work. And I guess if I really liked it that much, I would do it, but even the ones in the bottom, you can see are already cracking. So try to get clay pots that are actually sealed and actually baked on there, I guess would be the other part of that process. These little birds that you see, let's go up. These are called Gekle Birds, and I love them. It's very unique to our area, and they make these really cool noises. I used to call them speaker birds because they sound like little speakers, but they're kind of rambunctious, but they're fun, and listen to the little sounds. Smart as heck too. This is so sad. I hate when they do this. They paint the cactuses. That's so weird. Why is that even a thing? Why? Or they put these little plastic flowers, and people think they're flowering, and they're not. It's plastic. Like, we need more plastic in the world. So weird. Okay, everybody, so I'm gonna have to do a different video based on bulbs because I can't find any. So that was my other thing, that there's certain crops like garlic, I think onion, but I'm pretty sure I know garlic, and I know I eat a lot of garlic. So I'm gonna go out and look for those and do a separate video, because I'll be learning along with the video on what I can, oh my lord, my hair, and cannot do. So and how to grow garlic. So let's learn, and it'll be a good experiment for me. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for being here. Have a great day.